Hello, and welcome to
Flappin' Flotsam, what's that?
Well, you see, what happened was I procrastinated for a year. Now, I didn't do nothing during that time. We farmed events and collected materials and memoria we would need for later in the run. I just didn't continue the run. And then we got the EOS notice, and it's like, oh, I have to prepare for Mirror's ranking. I have to do damage cap challenges in Komochi Raid. I have to beat the Despair Witches. And I realized I didn't actually have that much time left over for this. Stakes? Stakes? What are stakes? Couldn't be me unwittingly adding a major time constraint, dramatically raising the odds of failing this challenge? Oh, and if you're wondering about my Magia stones, I spent them all in the Dark-type character banner. Now, why would I do that? Was it to get more slots for Ren? Well, we got one. Was it because Kushu is adorable and has the squishiest cheeks of any... What? Kush? It's just Kush now. Okay, is it because Kush is... the squish?
Please clap.
No. The real reason is...
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Now, before we jump into Chapter 3, we'll be equipping our 1-star Memoria. It gives a whopping 5% attack up, plus 180 flat attack without upgrades. The flat attack is actually almost 10% of Kuro's base attack, but it still doesn't do much. Remember what I said about breakpoints in the last episode? Well, this extra damage isn't enough for us to consistently overcome them. The basic familiars at the start of this chapter have double the HP of those in the previous one, so outside of a charged blast disc or a connect, it still takes us 2 hits to kill them. We team up with a variety of support characters, but our journey is mostly uneventful. And then this happens. Tying to familiars is not great. Our most obvious problem is a lack of damage, so I decide to fully limit break Kuro's Memoria, raising its passive attack buff from 5% to 10. This gets us through one more stage before we die again, so we fully level the Memoria next. This gives us a few hundred extra attack and HP. Hopefully that will be enough. It was not, in fact, enough. Okay, I really didn't want to have to do this, but we're going to have to unlock 2-star Memoria now. In hindsight, I probably should have started using the 1-star in the previous chapter, but I underestimated the difficulty curve. We fully limit break and level it from the start, giving 15% attack plus flat attack equal to almost half of Kuro's base attack. With an effective buff of over 50%, we're finally equipped for the challenges ahead. Among the challenges in Chapter 3, the one that almost everyone remembers is the Commoner's Horse. Not only does it have double the HP of the previous chapter's boss, but it only occupies 1 tile instead of 6. If this massive disparity in health wasn't enough, the Commoner's Horse uses multiple offensive skills every turn, and is the first enemy in the game to feature generic damage resistance. But perhaps the most insidious of the horse's attributes is, well, its attribute. The Commoner's Horse is a light type, the first such boss in the game. Like in many gachas, light and dark in Magia Record are mutually super effective. Light is both offensively strong and defensively weak against dark. It resists nothing, but is also resisted by nothing. For the Staircase Uwasa, we could simply bring a team of Force-type magical girls to counter its Aqua typing, but against the Commoner's Horse, it isn't so simple. Sure, a savvy player could bring a multi-hit dark attacker like Kinoko and nuke the boss on the first turn, but most new players will get run over due to their lack of proper type advantage. This is why Kuro being a dark type is a blessing in disguise. We won't ever get a free lunch against an enemy weak to our attribute, but neither will we be hard countered by one that resists it. This does mean, though, that a lot of RGB bosses that aren't noteworthy during a normal playthrough will actually put up a fight. So when we casually run into an RGB boss that we completely forgot about, like Candy, we get totally annihilated. Considering we can barely reach the boss in one piece, a one-turn nuke is a necessity for this fight, but with no Momoko to bail us out, and a one-tile boss who laughs at blast discs, we don't have a lot of options. The support Yachio here is basically the worst possible teammate, as not only is she a blaster with type disadvantage, but her connect doesn't provide any effects that can boost the damage of Magia, which is why we dump her for an Iroha and bring my low-level Felicia on board. Guys, I swear I totally forgot about this. I wrote the rules after recording. I literally didn't remember we dumped the NPC support for this stage. Kuro is still doing most of the damage. I'm not trying to cheat, I promise! Felicia's connect gives 25% damage up, so let's hope that's enough. As a secondary character, Felicia's memoria will be 1 tier lower than Kuro's. We give her attack down so we can tank 1 turn against the rabbit if we need more time to set up. Here we go!
今なるこうなる一緒にかまそうよ今なる
Hey, maybe one-star memoria aren't completely useless after all. Still, this incredibly slim margin of victory is rather concerning, but at least we can relax for a little while. The rest of the chapter up to the commoner's horse is mostly uneventful.
気合い乗ったそらそらそらそらほらじゃあ食らっといてよっ
The shrine minions have higher stats, but with the first turn advantage, our dark-type Kuro makes mincemeat to these light-type enemies. We finally reach the boss, and predictably get bodied. However, with only minor adjustments, we throw ourselves back into the fray. Let's show this boss what we're really made of.
今なら消え引いて今ならコナン引いてクラッときたよ行くよそれちゃっちゃクラッときたよ頼むよ今なら
Yachio even gets a redemption here, as it turns out we don't even need Tsuruno's attack buff to pull it off. You know how then decides to steal our thunder by kicking the boss while it's down. Having defeated another Uwasa boss, we claim another upgrade token. Fortunately, I don't think we'll have to use this one too soon.
覚悟しなさい覚悟しなさいオッケーただこれもさせて
Oh! Right. That. As I was saying, we are now authorizing Kuro to use 3-star memoria! We equip her with this event memoria that gives 15% attack up and 17.5% Excel MP up, as well as flat attack equal to over 70% of Kuro's base attack. Since there are no familiars before Mami, the extra Excel MP will be important in allowing us to charge up quickly. Unfortunately, things aren't that simple. Mami binds the team on turn 3, and lasting any longer than that is virtually impossible. So we need to knock her out within 3 of our own turns, which means we need to have Magia charged in 2. The only way to do that is with 2 Excel combos, and Tsuruno needs 3 discs between the 2 of them so we can use her attack boost and connect. This is our theoretical racing line, but will it even work? Time to find out!
Sora, 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 sora! 今ならコナンさあ行くわよ。オッケー。まだこれもクラッときなよ。ほら行くよ。私に勝てる？オッケー。終わりよ。クラッときなよ。頼むよ。今なら私を信じて。行くよ。消えて。
And with that, we've officially completed Chapter 3. Time for another upgrade. Each Magia level gives a 10% increase to the damage of Kuro's Magia. Since this is multiplicative with everything else, that's actually not bad. Wait, what? Oh, right. 10% as in 960% base plus 10% is 970. So it's really more like 1%. Man, these end of chapter upgrades really hit hard, huh? You know, it's funny. I was really worried about the commoner's horse, and it turned out to be the easiest boss of the chapter. So, what are our plans for chapter 4? No idea. I was confident we could beat the commoner's horse, but I have no clue what happens now. We're in uncharted waters, and a sea monster could appear at any time. But that won't stop us. We won't give up until we've reached our absolute limits. The real fight begins now.